This email principle generated a 258% revenue uplift for one of my clients, this one 223%, this one 184%. There are 7 of them in total, and once you understand how they work together, you can rebuild every campaign your brand sends and add 30 to 50% of your monthly email campaign revenue without sending a single extra email. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through all 7 with the actual numbers, each one generated, real examples from real campaigns, and exactly how to use them in your own emails. So here are all 7 principles of email persuasion: scarcity, urgency, social proof, authority, reciprocity, liking, and anchoring. And now I'll show you each one of them with the result that we got for clients, an example, and then some explanation so you understand how you can apply it for your own brand. Let's get started with the first principle, which is scarcity. So here I've brought you some of the results we got for our clients. So here you can see the campaign we've sent out, which was sold out 3 years in a row, to show how scarce this product is and how many people actually want it. And you can see we've generated £13,500 with that single email campaign. No promotion, no discount, no nothing in it. And then we had a back in stock email, which did better. And even the payday sale that we did with this brand was doing less than this sold out 3 years in a row email campaign. Now, if we compare this email with all of the other emails, we can see we had nearly $4,000 revenue uplift and a 41.3% revenue uplift in percentage. And I've brought you another result where we've sent the same kind of email, but this time for a skincare brand. And here this first email generated $11,000. The second one, nearly $10,000. Whereas the average email campaign that they were sending was generating around $3,000. Now, the absolute uplift was around $7,500 in additional revenue, plus the revenue uplift in percentage was 258%. So these are the kind of results that you can get once you implement the scarcity angle properly. Here's an example from JV Coffee. So they first have added a banner, low stock alert, and it's in a different color than the rest of the email to really make it stand out. So this is the first sign of scarcity. Then they're saying in the subheadline, due to overwhelming demand, so they create artificial demand, and you think, oh, so many people want it. Then they say our small batch, so overwhelming demand, small batch, so they create this big gap, is nearly sold out. And so what people think once they read this is, so many people wanted it, so many people bought it, and there's only a small batch left. I need to buy now because otherwise it will be sold out. That's how they're selling their coffee. And then they elaborate on that, and they don't only use the scarcity angle, but they put a free product on top. Last chance to get free pumpkin spice or any other limited release flavor with your next order. Offer ends in 8 hours or sooner if we sell out. So buy now because we only have a small batch left and so many people want it. You'll also get a free product. If you want that, buy now because the offer ends in 8 hours. So they have added urgency, or sooner if we sell out. So this way, someone that wants this product maybe has now a reason to buy it, because first, he'll get the product for free. Second, it's very scarce and there's an overwhelming demand for it. And third, he only has 8 hours left to buy it to get this free product. That's how you can use the scarcity angle. So why does scarcity work? When something is rare, people want it more. The perceived value of a product rises the moment availability shrinks. Limited quantity signals demand, and demand signals worth. You can add it in an email like this. Only 100 units available. Limited product test run, may sell out today. Only 3 left in stock. Something to that extent. Because this is the exact principle that luxury brands are using all the time to make it appear as if you have to get on a waiting list to buy this Rolex or to buy this bag. But in actuality, it's not the case. They're just doing that artificially to create more demand and to signal more worth. The next principle is urgency. And what you can see here is, here's the email campaign where we maximize on urgency. And here's the Easter sale start email, which did $3,900. And then the next email did $4,100, so very similar. And then the revenue dropped and then it increased a little bit. But what you can see is that even the first email just generated $3,900, whereas the last email generated $6,000. So we've sent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 email campaigns before, and still the last email generated more than any of them before. So why is that the case? Because we have maximized on urgency. Either you buy today and you save this much, or you have to pay full price tomorrow if you wait until then. And so the absolute uplift was around $1,400, and the revenue uplift from this email compared to all the other emails was $1,400. So urgency is a very vital part, or should be a vital part, of your email marketing strategy. And here's an amazing example from Magic Mind. So what they're saying in their headline is you have less than 48 hours left, urgency. They've added a countdown timer, even more urgency. And then they're saying don't miss out on our biggest sale of the year. So they've also added the fear of missing out. And so what you need to think about is you open the email, you see the headline, and you see a countdown timer that runs up. This creates this feeling of I need to act now because otherwise this offer will be gone. And then when you couple it with don't miss out on our biggest sale of the year, you create this fear of missing out. Well, I want to have Magic Mind, and this is the biggest sale of the year, and I could miss out. I don't want to do that. So there's a lot of marketing psychology that moves people to actually take action, and this is a great example. Headline that is communicating urgency, adding a countdown timer, and then you can couple it with the fear of missing out with a sentence like this here, and you will get a lot more people to go and take action. So why does urgency work? Because when time runs out, people decide. Urgency is not the same as scarcity. Scarcity is limited quantity. Urgency is limited time. And conflating the two is one of the most common mistakes in email copywriting. And what we like to do and use in our agency is the either or clause. That means, for example, for Magic Mind, it would be you either buy in the next 48 hours and you get 55% off, or if these 48 hours pass, you have to pay full price for the same product. So you either buy today and save 55%, or you wait until the offer is expired and you have to pay full price for the same. Sounds silly, but it works. And the reason it works is because this framing forces a binary decision. It makes an action feel costly, which is exactly when people act. So use urgency, especially when you have promotions or limited offers in general, because it will give people a reason to act now. You don't want to just convince them of buying from you. You want to give them a reason to act now and buy from your brand. And urgency is one of the most effective principles you can use. If this video was useful so far, and if you want to see how we would apply these 7 principles to your e-commerce brand, click the first link in the description and book a free audit. I'll personally show you which principles you're missing and how much extra revenue we could pull out of your existing email list without spending more on ads. So click the first link in the description, otherwise let's continue the video. The next principle you should use in email marketing is social proof. And what you can see here is we've sent these social proof probiotic email campaign, and it generated 4,500 euros. And then we sent a similar email a week later and generated another 4,700 euros. And when you look and compare it to the rest of the email campaigns, you can see that the average email campaign maybe has generated 3,500 euros, whereas these have generated 4,600 on average. So the absolute uplift was 1,600 euros compared to all the other email campaigns, which did not include social proof. But the revenue uplift in percentage was 55% higher, which is a lot. And now let me show you a great example for an email that includes social proof. Here's a great email that uses social proof. It's from Mr. Jones. And what you can see in the header image is a bunch of 5-star reviews in the background. And then it says 1,600 plus reviews talk about sleep. And then they have some more 5-star reviews here from their customers, and they are authentic and convincing. And they also include the image of their customers as well. Then CTA retail reviews, and then they have the offer here at the end. So what they basically do is a bunch of social proof, so you trust them, and then they make the offer. And this is a great way to use social proof because you need to think about it. The reason why someone that has an issue, that has seen your brand and your product, has not purchased from you is because maybe your price is too expensive, or one of the biggest reasons is because of trust. They don't believe that your product works. But if they see an email like this and you have 1,600 plus reviews that are positive, and then they see some more authentic reviews with maybe women looking like them, maybe they have also a daughter, then they believe you. And once they believe you, they will take action and buy your product. So this is very, very effective, and it should be used for every brand, especially those who have a lot of people that came in contact with the brand but have not purchased yet. So great email, especially for those subscribers who have not purchased yet. So why does social proof works? Because when others do it, it must be safe. Uncertainty drives people to follow the crowd. Social proof removes hesitation by showing that others have already made and validated their decision. And you can create social proof by reviews and ratings. which we've seen in the email before. Order counts in UGC, I don't know, 1 million plus happy customers, and live counters on the website, I don't know, bought 9,633 times in the past 30 days, which Amazon has implemented on their website. So these are the things that, or the mechanisms that you can use in order to include social proof in your email campaigns. The fourth principle you need to add to your emails is authority. I had to blur out all of the campaign names, but here's the email that we sent, which included a new influencer that was endorsing the brand. And what we can see here, I think here we started some kind of a promotion, but the average email campaign was generating around 4,000 euros, I would say. And when we added this email or sent this email for our client, the absolute uplift of this email compared to all the other emails was plus 1,886 euros, and the revenue uplift in percentage was 39%. So now I want to show you a great example of how you can add authority to your email campaigns. So here's a great example from IM8. IM8 is now the official health supplements partner of Inter Miami CF. So now Lionel Messi, which is the greatest footballer of all time, Luis Suarez, one of the best strikers of all time, Rodrigo de Paul, and David Beckham are endorsing this brand. So you can either use social proof to create trust, or you can use authority, and they're using authority. Because if the best footballer in history, some of the best strikers in the world, David Beckham, are endorsing this brand, then how can you not trust this brand? You will trust it. And if you have a problem, and this brand can solve it, and they have people that you love and you trust, then you want to buy from this brand. And so authority is also very, very effective. And this is a great email you can use. So what you would do is you would take these influential people and put them into your header image and literally say they endorse your brand and they love your brand, and show a video or link to a video and then have the review as well. So why does authority work? Because when experts speak, people listen. People defer to perceived expertise. Authority signals an email reduces skepticism and accelerates trust, especially in health, wellness, and high consideration categories. So one of the things you can add to create authority is expert endorsements, like we had just in the IM8 example, media mentions, Forbes, Health Magazine, Men's Health, stuff like that, certification and awards, and visual authority cues. So white coat imagery, lab shots, and founder credentials reinforce the message before a word is read. This is how you can implement authority into your email campaigns to create or increase trust and get more people to take action and buy from your brand. The fifth principle that can increase your email campaign revenue is reciprocity. And so we have this kind of credit sale that we've done for a client. And you can see that the typical sale emails were generating 2,000, 8,000 euros, but this credit sale email campaign generated 12,000 here and another 12,000 here. So if we compare these two emails with the rest of the emails, we had an absolute uplift of 8,500 euros compared to the other email campaigns, and a 223% revenue uplift in percentage. Now, let me show you a great example that is using reciprocity. Here's a great example that uses reciprocity, and it is from JV Coffee again. Mother's Day sale, buy one, get one free, plus free syrup. So what they do with reciprocity is you buy this and you get two things for free, which makes you feel thankful for it, and you want to do something in return, which is to buy from them. And then the copy is even highlighting that by saying buy one, get one free, plus free syrup. It's very important that if you want to use reciprocity, that you are using the word free. And then give mom the ultimate gift, again, reciprocity, to keep her cool, refreshed, and energized throughout iced coffee season. This week only, order one bag of our instant protein coffee, get one free, plus receive a full-size bottle of our delicious low-sugar syrup free. An amazing example from JV Coffee, and it shows you how you can include reciprocity to your emails. So why does it work? Because when you give first, they feel they owe you. People feel an internal pull to return a favor. Pure value emails, free tips, education, useful content, free products, build invisible debt that gets repaid at the moment of sale. This is why a consistent nurture sequence outperforms a promotion-only list every time. So instead of saying, for example, 15% off this weekend, you could say, we're giving you 15% off, or we're gifting you 15% off. Same number, completely different psychology. And here you have some long-term weapons, free educational content, actionable tips with no strings attached, early access or insider previews, genuine problem solving before the pitch. And this is what you can do you want to frame discounts and anything else as gifts, not as promotions, and then you create reciprocity and you can increase your email campaign revenue. The next principle that you should add is liking. We've done it for this brand, and here you can see the founder emails, which we've written in a very personal manner. We made those founder emails to resonate with the target audience. And you can see the first email generated 21,000 euros and the second one generated 17,000 euros. Now compare that to their average email campaign, which was only generating around, let's say, 6,500 euros. Now the absolute uplift was around 13,500 euros and the revenue uplift in percentage was 184%. Now let me show you an example of how you can add liking to your emails. So here's a great example from Dry. They say necessity is the mother of invention. For years, Jack, our founder, suffered the pain and embarrassment of excessive sweating. He was drenched all day, every day. So if you want to use liking, you want to make sure that they're resonating with you. And first, they will resonate with you if they're not talking to a brand, which is super abstract, but to a person. Because you can only really like a person than something abstract like a company. And the second thing is that this email from the founder is talking about and resonating with the main problem that their target audience has, which is being drenched all day in sweat. And if you talk like this, and if you have a person that they talk to and they like, then they will be more likely to buy from this person, because if they like this person and if the person can solve whatever issue they have, and if the person understands the issue that they have and is resonating with them and had the same issue, then the conversion rate will just increase, because they think, I like this person, the person had the same issue as me, and he can solve my issue and he understands my issue. And what they will believe is that you can solve the issue, which will then lead them to buy from your brand. So these kind of founder emails are very important and can be used in your campaign calendar mix. And then they've added a risk reversal section to the end of the email. Great example. Now, why does liking work? Because when people like you, they buy from you. This is why so many influencer brands are working. This is why everyone wants to buy from streamers and YouTubers and musicians, because people buy from people they relate to. Likability in email isn't about polish, it's about authentic human connection. Audiences respond to founders who share real struggles, language that mirrors their own, and a brand that feels like a community rather than a corporation. So you can use founder stories, you can use mirrored language and visuals, and you can use plain text over branded HTML to make it look like more personal if it was just sent to you and not to tens of thousands of people. Last but not least, and this is my favorite principle, which is anchoring. Now, we've used this anchoring angle for this client here, and what you can see here is when we used it, it was not even in a promotional email. We generated $10,000 and then also $8,800, whereas the average email campaign was generating, I would say, around, let's even say $3,000. So the absolute uplift was $6,000 and the revenue uplift in percentage was 154%. Now, let me show you an amazing example that showcases how you can use anchoring in your emails. So here's a great email from Magic Mind. And what you can see here is it's this section. And this section is just absolutely amazing, because what you want to do when you anchor something is to show them a super, super high price and then show them, but you get this free, this free, this free, this free, and this is how much each one of them is worth. So now you're only paying this, which means you're just paying this per shot. And this is what they're doing here, because they have this open app, 90 days, which would normally cost $60, but now it's free. Then you get this Beyond Coffee, a science-backed guide on how to become more productive, which would normally cost $6, but now it's free. Then you get US shipping, ships within 3 to 5 business days, $15, but now free. And you get a 30-pack total with a 30-day supply for one person. Normally it would cost $229.50, but now it only costs $74.25. So only $2.47 per shot. So super high anchor, and then it only costs $74.25. And you see the big difference in how much you saved. And then people believe, okay, this is an amazing deal, I have to buy it. And then they even break it down to only $2.47 per shot, which makes people think like, it's just $2.47, that's nothing, right? Because they compare the actual price, $229.50, to $74.25, and they think, oh, this is an amazing deal. And then they even break it down to $2.47 to make it look even cheaper. And this is an absolutely amazing email, and this is an absolutely amazing section that you should add to your bundles and to offers to create this anchoring effect and make it look like a deal that they can't refuse. Now, why does anchoring work? Because the first number they see defines what's expensive. People don't evaluate prices in absolute terms, they compare. Drop a higher anchor first and everything after it looks cheap. The anchor is the selling before your copy even starts. The savings calculator email, you cross it through and then today only $59.99. You save $77.97. The strike through price is doing all of the work. And then you need to make sure that you are explicitly saying how much they're actually saving, either in percentage or in the actual number. And the bundle anchor, show 3 products at full price, $150, review the bundle at $89. Without the anchor, 89 is just a number. With it, $89 feels like a steal. So if you would just drop $89 for your bundle, it would look like, oh, it's expensive. But if you compare it to the actual price, if you buy 3 products each, it will cost them $150. They compare it with each other and they think, okay, this is a lot cheaper. It's a deal and everyone loves a great deal, which is why they will buy from you. And I can tell you this is super, super effective. And we are using this for promotions, and especially in Q4, this is one of the principles that we use the most often. So those are the 7 principles of email persuasion: scarcity, urgency, social proof, authority, reciprocity, liking, and anchoring. But here's what I didn't tell you at the start. Knowing these 7 principles isn't what actually moves the needle. Applying them correctly across every campaign and flow in your Klaviyo account is. And that's exactly where most brands leave 6 figures on the table every year. If you want me to personally audit your Klaviyo account and show you how much extra revenue you could make by adding these 7 principles to your campaigns and flows, click the first link in the description and book your free audit. I'll see you on the call.